You sit across from your colleague in a quiet office. The air is still. They are smiling, their tone is measured, and every word they speak is perfectly polite. Yet, a cold, sharp sensation pricks at the base of your neck. Your gut screams that something is wrong, though you cannot name it. You watch their hands rest on the desk, steady and precise. You observe the way they tilt their head, a practiced gesture that feels entirely rehearsed. This is not a ghost story. It is a psychological one. Carl Jung spent decades mapping these invisible traps. He warned that the most dangerous people are not the ones who shout, but those who are entirely unconscious of their own inner darkness. They walk among us, convinced of their own virtue, while their unexamined shadows pull the strings of their lives. Jung famously noted, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." You look back at your colleague. The smile remains, but the chill deepens. You are witnessing the first sign that something is hidden beneath the surface. The first warning sign is shadow projection. You meet someone who accuses you of malice you have never felt. They are not lying. They are seeing their own repressed anger or greed reflected in you like a distorted mirror. They point a finger at your selfishness to avoid looking at their own. It is a defensive maneuver, a way to cast their inner filth onto a convenient target. Then, the dynamic shifts into something more volatile: psychic inflation. This is the ego swelling with false grandeur. You see it in the person who claims to be a chosen messenger or the sole possessor of truth. They radiate a dangerous, blinding certainty. Their presence fills the room, yet it feels thin, brittle, and hollow. They do not want a dialogue, they want an audience. While the projector hides behind accusations, the inflated individual stands on a pedestal of their own making, convinced of a divine mandate. You watch the colleague across the desk. Their smile does not reach their eyes. They are seeing a projection of their own internal conflict. The third warning sign is the over-identification with the persona. You encounter someone who is always on. Their mask is flawless, their behavior impeccable, yet you feel a hollow, mechanical chill. They have traded their authentic self for a social image, a curated version of existence that demands constant maintenance. Observe the way they move. Every gesture is calibrated. Every laugh is timed. They are not living. They are performing a script. This perfection is a trap. Because the persona is a shell, it lacks the flexibility of a living soul. When reality forces a deviation, the mask cannot bend. It cracks. You see the strain in the tightening of their jaw. They are terrified of the space between their image and their reality. This is the structural fragility of the ego. You realize then that the person across from you is not a colleague, but a prisoner of their own image. The fourth warning sign is archetypal possession. A person stops acting like an individual and begins to embody a force of nature. They become the righteous judge or the divine savior. Their eyes harden into a fixed, intense stare. Their speech loses all nuance, becoming rhythmic and absolute. They are no longer a person. They are a vessel for a collective obsession. You watch them and feel the air leave the room. They have surrendered their capacity for self-reflection to a larger, darker power. This leads directly into the final, most haunting sign, the compulsion to repeat. You watch someone walk into the same toxic relationship, or the same professional failure for the 10th time. They act surprised, blaming bad luck or external circumstances, entirely unaware that they are the architects of their own misery. They are trapped in a loop of negative synchronicity. They are caught in a cycle of their own design, acting out a script they refuse to read. They are being driven by a ghost in the machine. How do you break this cycle? You must embrace the path of individuation. Jung suggested we choose to be whole rather than good. This means acknowledging your own flaws, doubts, and contradictions. When you feel that inexplicable chill, stop. Look for the gaps between their polished image and your intuition. Seek out those who own their mistakes and allow for nuance. By bringing your own shadow into the light, you reclaim your agency. You stop calling your patterns fate and start living your life as a conscious choice. The journey toward wholeness is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming real. Reflect on what irritates you most in others today. Begin there. Look inward and watch the power of the unconscious fade. You are the architect.